This is 34 News Update with Abby Rosenblatt and Kara Caskew with the news, Rosanna Rice-Gossin with arts and entertainment, and Dennis Evans with sports. And now, from Studio B at Scotch Plains Fanwood High School, here is Abby Rosenblatt and Kara Caskew.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of 34 News. I'm Abby Rosenblatt.
And I'm Kara Caskew. On March 4th through the 6th, standardized tests were given to all grade levels but the seniors in the high school. The juniors took the HSPA test that is required to be passed in order to graduate from New Jersey Public High School. The freshmen and sophomores took the Terra Nova test in order to prepare themselves for the HESPA next year.
On Friday, February 28th, members of the Teen Involvement Program for Students, better known as TIPS, took place in a police-teen dialogue. There, students and police had a chance to interact and ask questions about the community. They talked over lunch filled with sandwiches, cookie, and fruit, and overall, it was a huge success.
Last week, students of SPFHS celebrated Drug and Alcohol Awareness Week. Purple ribbons were worn in order to promote drug and alcohol awareness. Students from SAN ran the activity and it was a great success.
Loud noise, dancing, music. This is the usual description of a nightclub until February 21st. A fire broke out at a Rhode Island nightclub from a rock band called Great White. It quickly swept through the wooden club, killing 96 people and injuring about 187. Club owners are now being faced with charges. Now to Rosanna for arts and entertainment.
Thank you, Abby. The Moonglowers have started their competition season on a high note. At their first competition on Wednesday, February 26th, they placed first and won all 4 section awards for the Moonglowers. They even beat out rivals J.P. Stevens. On February 28th, they went up against much steeper competition and took second place, winning Best Sax Section and Best Soloist Award for Delsa Slaw. They won Best Saxes over powerhouse bands Pensacola, Cherokee, J.P. Stevens, and Edison. The gang is now on their way to state preliminaries on Tuesday, March 4th. Now let's go on location for more.
The Moonglowers. So, what is Moonglowers?
Moonglowers is one of 2 high school jazz bands we have here that competes locally and statewide.
Okay, and what instrument do you play?
I play the lead alto sax.
All right, and what competitions do you have up ahead?
Up ahead we have Carteret, and last week we had competitions at Edison High School and Rutgers University where we took first place and we won all the Best Section awards.
All right, good luck, and now back to studio.
If you are an artist, Muse needs your help. As of now, they don't have a cover for their magazine and are having a contest for the design of it. The cover can either be drawn, painted, created on the computer, or anything you want. The cover must depict the theme, which is smoky days and grummy scraps from the poem The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot. If you would like to participate in the contest, the deadline is March 14th. The winner gets $50. Now let's check out this week's Weekend Preview with Angela and Eddie.
Hello and welcome to Weekend Preview. I'm Angela Minio.
And I'm Eddie Zazali. There's not much to go in sports this weekend. Our girls basketball team has a second round of the state tournament on Saturday, and if they win there, they can play on Monday after school. Our boys wrestling team has 10 out of 14 wrestlers competing for the Wrestling Districts Championship. That's all for sports. Now let's go to Angela with entertainment.
The top 5 videos in theaters this weekend is Bringing Down the House, Old School, Cradle to the Grave, Tears of the Sun, and The Secret Life of David Gale. The top 5 videos to rent this weekend are My Big Fat Greek Wedding, Sweet Home Alabama, 1 Hour Photo, City by the Sea, and Spy Kids 2. That's all for Weekend Preview. Now let's go back to the studio.
Now let's go to Ed Madden for this week's Critics Corner.
This is Ed Madden with Critics Corner here, and I saw Old School yesterday, which I thought was all around okay. I laughed a bunch of times. I expected it to be funnier, but it was still pretty funny. Will Ferrell was hilarious, though, and he always is. I like the character Vince Vaughn does. He does it a lot, but I like that character. All around C+, was good, okay. Also had to watch The Recruit. This movie was bad. I didn't like this one at all. Al Pacino was his usual self, nothing special out of him. It was full of shameless plugs. There was a lot. Ford, Volkswagen, Amstel, Dell Computers. There was a lot more, too. I didn't like it. I'm giving this movie a D-. Don't bother. Back to the studio.
Now let's go to Dennis with the sports.
Thanks, Kara. With the transition from winter to spring sports, there has been little action here at SPF. However, the Raiders wrestling team is still going strong, as the Raiders won district championship for the second time in 2 years. With a strong performance by Steve Minio, Mark Fabiano, and Matt Loomis, the Raiders are at a 15-3 mark. With the first part of regions taking place Tuesday, the Raiders look to dominate and continue their greatness through Friday and Saturday. For more on this, let's go on location.
Here with Captain Chuck Blatchy of the wrestling team. So Chuck, how did your wrestling match go this weekend?
It went really good. We won the districts for the second year in a row, back to back, and we dominated. We had 8 people in the finals. We advanced 10 people to the regions.
All right, congratulations with that. And how did you do yourself?
I took first in the tournament, as well as Steve Minio, Matt Loomis, and Fabiano also all took first.
Okay, congratulations. And what's coming up next with the wrestling team?
On Tuesday, the 6th, I think it is, which is tomorrow, is first round of regions, and then the upcoming Friday and Saturday is the rest of the regions, and the week after that is states, and then the season's over.
All right, well, congratulations on all your wins, and good luck in the rest of your season. And now back to the studio.
Since here at Scotch Plains Fanwood High School have slowed the process of the new varsity baseball field. With the field not yet ready for the varsity baseball season, it looks like the boys will be forced to play at Park Middle School. For more on this, let's go to On Location.
You're a baseball player. So, Stephen, I heard that this year's baseball field is being moved to Park. How do you feel about that being this is your last year on the team?
Well, it's a disappointment, of course. We were hoping that the field would be ready for us this year, but unfortunately it's not. As seniors, everybody's really upset. But we don't mind. We're going to go out there and play the game. We're there to play the game regardless where it's being played. But it would have been nice if we could have played here.
That's sad. How is this season going to look for you guys? Is anyone really disappointed with the snow since you can't get out there and practice?
Not really. I mean, we figure the snow will be gone pretty soon. But we should be pretty good this year. We got a lot of returning seniors and juniors and key sophomores, so this year is looking pretty bright.
Thank you. It's sad to hear about your field.
That wraps up for sports. Now back to you, Karen.
Dennis, now let's go to the quote of the week.
Now let's go to Hurricane Heffler with weekend weather.
Hi folks, it's Hurricane Heff here with your 34 News. I'm here with your weekend weather update. On Friday it's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 28 and a low of 14. On Saturday it's still going to be partly cloudy with a high of 32 and a low of 17. On Sunday it's going to be rainy with 30% chance of precipitation with a high of 40 and a low of 15. This has been Hurricane Heff. Now back to the studio. Go ahead.
That wraps it up for this week's edition of 34 News.
We'll see you next week.